Hello, everybody. This is Jason Haas from Just Josh Sports, and I'm here with Edward Waters head coach Cabral Huff. Good to see you, Coach.
Glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, let's get right into it. First question is, what overall identity do you want for Edward Waters basketball this season?
It's the same thing. We want to leave our mark on every team that we play. We want them to understand how tough it is to play against us, how hard we play, the pace that we play at, and we just want to have that next level of excellence. So that means every play, every set, every defensive stop, everything has to be to the utmost of our ability. So we want to execute on both ends of the floor. And if we do those things, we play with our pace, we have our what we call our 4 E's, our daily vitamins: energy, effort, enthusiasm, execution, then it's going to be tough to beat us. So that's what we want to bring to the court every day, and we want our opponents to see from us.
Nice. What has been the main focus for the team during the offseason?
It was really connectivity, man. We had to bring in, over half our roster is new. So it was a connectivity and really getting to know these guys and them getting to know each other. And that's been done with a lot of different things on the court, off the court. So that's been the real biggest thing. And then obviously laying into our fundamentals, our foundation, what we want to do defensively and offensively. So those have been the big things that we've started with before we get to October 13th in our first official practice.
Yeah, I was actually going to get into that. If I'm correct, you have about 6 or 7 returning players.
Correct. So our returners right now are senior Cyrus Huguet-Noel, 6'8", from Canada, who played last year. Obviously, Amari Floyd, who was preseason all SIAC first team and defensive player of the year. Junior, 6'5", from Atlanta, Georgia. Jalen Nelson, who was great for us last year as a freshman. He comes back 6'4", 6'5", guard. We also have Josh Good, who's a redshirt sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. And then we have Gabe Guilford, who's also a redshirt sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. We have one I'm going to keep in the bank right now, who also is coming back. Got Carter Hankerson from Florida. He's a redshirt freshman, 6'8". So those would be our returners that are coming back. And Kyle White, who's from Atlanta, Georgia. He was a redshirt freshman as well.
Okay. Well, one of your big pickup in my opinion is, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm a Yawa Phillips.
Call him Mayo. That's how you
Mayo.
Mayo Phillips, yes.
So, second team all HBCU AC, and from my calculations, he was the third highest scoring guard, third highest scorer in all of HBCU basketball. So what role do you envision him for him on your team?
I mean, he is a legit scorer. He can score the basketball. So we were happy to get him into our fold here at Edward Waters. We don't think he's going to have to be the third leading scorer as he was at his previous institution based off what else we have. But we don't want that scoring mentality to leave him. We want him to do what he's able to do, and that's score the basketball. But he's also a lockdown defender. So we're excited about that aspect of him here at Edward Waters. So we expect a lot of him. He's played basketball at the highest level. He knows how to win. He comes from a winning pedigree, and he competes in everything he does. Like, I think people will be surprised that he finished his mile time in under 5 minutes. So that's how hard he competes. And if anybody pays any attention to social media, he's always talking about the things that he does and tries to get his teammates to do to be just 1% better every day.
Yeah, I was going to actually, you're pairing him with another high scorer, Xavier McCoy. Mm-hmm. I really can't wait to see what they do out here.
Xavier McCoy, we actually recruited him out of high school, and he decided to go JUCO, but we stayed on him, and he came back home to us. He went all the way up to Michigan and realized there are no beaches up there. It's a lot of cold weather, so we were able to get him come back home. Out of Forest Ocala High School, over 1,000-point scorer. I think he's the school's leading scorer in history. He also led the team in assists and rebounds and steals. So again, a kid that's a winner, can score the ball, right? But also knows what it means to play team ball, to defend and to win.
Okay, let's see. Well, obviously, I want to ask you about Well, how do you feel about Coach Brick getting his chance to be head coach at Fort Valley?
Very deserving. Obviously, I felt that was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to take place. I knew I was getting I call him a young man, but a coach who was a head coach in waiting, to be honest with you. He did so much for our young men these last 2 years. So I knew it was just waiting his time. I was just trying to wait to see how long I was going to be able to keep him. So I'm expecting great things from him at Fort Valley. Not better than EWU, but I'm expecting great things from him at Fort Valley. It's going to be Fort Valley. It's going to be a battle when we play every day. It's going to be like as Coach Jackson and Coach Shea say, it's going to be like big brother versus little brother when we play each other.
Oh yeah, I know you got that game circled January 10th. I already know. Okay, let's see. I want you to give me from your perspective, what is your biggest non-conference game and why?
Oh man, I want to say North Georgia. I think it was huge for us to get North Georgia to come to Edward Waters, number one. North Georgia the past 2 or 3 years have been a perennial power. I believe they've made it as far as maybe the Final Four, but I definitely know the Elite Eight. They have been really high up in the polls in the Division II. So getting them to actually come to our place and play gives us the opportunity to see where we are so far. Last year we were able to go to Rollins, go to Rollins and beat Rollins and Florida Tech, to beat Flagler, to play, some very close games versus Clayton State and Columbus State, where we were just a little short from getting a victory. So this is a barometer for us to see where we stand right now in year three, and in year three with me, with these young men, and how we stand up and stack up against one of the best in Division II. But I think the other 3 games are just as big as well. You talk about another Peach Belt Conference foe and Flagler, who, they're going to want payback from what we were able to do to them last year. They got us the year before when we went to their place. But to get them to come back home to our place to play, and then to go to Valdosta State in the crossover tournament, to play Valdosta State, who's, again, a perennial power in their conference and in Division II, and then to get Florida Tech again. So I think all 4 games are big. But if people really want to look at one and circle one, they'll probably say North Georgia because of what they've done the last 3 years.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have 2 more questions. I'll get you out of here.
You're good.
What do you think has been the biggest adjustment for your newcomers?
I think every time somebody comes in, they were normally probably the first or second best player on their team. And so now being surrounded by other great players and understanding their roles and being a star in their role and doing what's needed of them to win, that's always an adjustment. But I think the other adjustment is understanding that to be a champion means you got to sacrifice. And our job and what we're trying to do here at Ward is to become champions, not just of the SIAC, but we want to put ourselves on the national map to contend for a national championship. And so giving up of themselves and sacrificing, I think that's always tough at the beginning. But anytime you have a great team, anytime you see great teams, they give of themselves. If you go back in the histories of everyone, of any champion that you've seen, there's been someone, more than one, lots of people on those teams that had to give of themselves. They could go somewhere else and be a star, like be the man. But when on that team, for them to win a championship, they've got to buy into a role. And I think so far so good with this team. They've bought in. They're connected. They're doing exactly what us and the coaching staff want them to
do. Well, speaking of the national stage, that was gonna be my final question. But since you brought it up, I'll just say it now. What do you think is gonna take to get Edward Waters a conference title and a shot at national tournament?
Sacrifice, consistency, and being healthy. I think we were right there last year. It just didn't happen for us. We were ranked in the national polls for the first time ever in Edward Waters' history. And we just got hit with an injury bug down the stretch. And so that adversity, it helped us. It helped me as a coach. It helped our coaching staff. It helped those guys that are returning to understand what it's going to take. Not just, up until that point, but when you get hit in the mouth with adversity, you've got to be as strong as your weakest link. And we don't want to have any weak links. And so with that being said, we've got to be 16 deep, 17 deep, or whatever the roster number is. And I think we are this year. I think when you're connected and understanding what it's going to take from the last man on the bench to the guy who may have played the most minutes, I think that's how you can win a SIAC championship. And I think we're right there. We just got to go take it. It won't be easy. This league is tough, from Clark, Atlanta, all the way down to whomever else you want to talk about. Savannah State, they made that run last year to win the conference tournament. So that's how hard this league is. Like, it's no easy nights. You go on the road, especially if you got to go, to that northern trip to Kentucky and Ohio, or you got to go, west a little bit to Tuskegee and Spring Hill or Lemoyne, Owen, and Lane. It's a tough battle every night. And so you got to bring your hard hat. You got to be ready to play, and you got to defend. I think if you can defend on every given night, I think we've got players that can make shots. We've got players that can score the basketball. So if we can defend, we can be right there, putting a banner up that hasn't been done basketball-wise of winning the SIAC.
Okay. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for giving me some time, man. It's an honor talking to you, man, honestly.
Always, man. Anytime you want to talk, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in, this is your son from Just Josh Sports, and I'll catch you next time.